Hello and welcome to the This is Xbox Game of the Year Awards. For category of RPG of the Year, the winner is Final Fantasy XV.
Yeah, that doesn't come as much as a surprise, to be honest.
No, that's right. With that kind of hype behind it, it was always going to be on someone's Game of the Year list, and it's fortunate that it is really good and deserves to be on a list.
Let's be brutally honest here. It was kind of a hard decision for us to decide prior to this anyway, because we had to get some time hands-on with it. With it being so late in the year, it was quite difficult for us to make a decision on this one. So, having actually played it now, at least three of us have, it doesn't surprise me that we would consider it the Game of the Year, because it just does everything right, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, especially in the first half of the game, which is where you two are at the moment. Having completed it, the flaws all come in that second half. And it's mostly to do with how it approaches the story. There won't be any spoilers, don't worry.
Yeah.
And so in the end, the story is a little disappointing. And for those looking for something a bit more akin to the traditional Final Fantasies, they're not going to really find it here. This is something that is appealing to fans, but is also accessible enough for newcomers to come fresh into it. And I think that's what makes it so great, is it's more accessible. But hardcore fans are going to be upset that certain things are missing, or certain elements aren't as hard or as comprehensive as they may have hoped. But the combat system is excellent. The open world is brilliant. It's gorgeous looking. The way they've approached the summons and the magic is really cool and really unique. And it ends up being a really good, solid role-playing game that you just feel compelled to come back to, either to see the story's end, even though there's some problems, or just to play because it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think another thing we have to touch upon it, because it is a bit of an elephant in the room, is the voice acting. So I suppose the question here is, who played it in the original Japanese, and who's played it with the new English voiceovers?
Japanese all the way.
Right. Okay. What about you, Greg? Have you played it at all with the English voices?
Yeah, I've played it all the way through with the English voices. And I'm fine.
My god, how stereotypical are some of those voices, though?
Some of them are terrible. The British accent on Ignis is really, really annoying.
It's quite grating.
Is he an all-white governor? Is he one of those? Or
no, but there are.
No,
there
he's
are two.
a prim. He's
Dave.
he's a prim and proper sort of guy.
But there are two characters that you'll meet later on, as a certain pair of characters that you find in all Final Fantasies.
Yes.
That are voiced exactly like that, and it's the worst 5 minutes of your life when you have to listen to them. It is awful. And it's touch and go with the main cast. It's like, sometimes they're fine and perfect and everything's going well. Other times they lose complete control and just sound ridiculously cliched.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I certainly had to change, and I swapped from the English voice acting to the Japanese voice acting. But the main reason for that, for me, was the actual narration and the voice acting didn't tie in with the animation. So the mouth was going, but the words weren't coming out. And that really, really distracted me. So that's why I changed across to the Japanese, because the animation hasn't been amended for the cutscenes to account for different languages. It's still in the original Japanese. It looks like a badly dubbed 70s kung fu movie.
Yeah, it does look very off at times, which is a shame. Tell you what though, Ardyn, the character Ardyn, his voice,
Mm.
English voiceover is absolutely perfect. He's oily and just, it's such a good character. He steals the spotlight every time he's on. He's great. Love that guy.
And you think
I think so. Yeah.
someone
This is Greg.
matter.
They're quite common.
crush on him?
A little bit. He and I share similar goals.
Yeah, true. Goals,
What
holes, or
about
goals?
A little column A, a little column B. So what about the leveling system, Greg? I mean, we've talked about the combat. The combat's a lot more action oriented, so it feels very fluid. It reminded me a lot of like The Witcher combat, is what I found. It's a lot more positioning rather than tactical, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's more about position than the actual tactic involved, so to speak.
Did you
it's not
all
that there
turn
is
on the
no
wait
tactics,
timer as
but-
well?
No, I stayed in real time.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The wait time is
No, I
pretty good.
did. Yeah.
It only kicks in if you don't move, which I quite like because it kind of mixes two things. You can be a bit tactical, and it's you if you get beat by someone, it messes. You have to stop for a certain amount of seconds. So it'll kick in. So if someone's sniping you, it won't allow you to have the wait timer. And if you do manage to get the wait timer active, it ticks down.
So with the leveling and the experience, I like how that's
Yes.
tallied at the end of your day as such when you go to camp or when you go to the hotel. But what I really like is how learning new abilities and improving your stats, they happen gradually through the ordinary leveling. But you also earn AP separately, which is where you learn the more significant boosts and enhancements. And I really enjoy that.
Another aspect of it that we haven't touched upon is after each battle is complete, you also get a grading system as well. And the better your grade for your tactics, your movement, and how you actually how quickly you completed the battle, the more AP you get for that as well. So it's a very cool little system. It encourages you to be that little bit more tactical and try not to get hit as much. That most action games don't tend to bother with.
Yeah.
I like the nods as well. Like one of the characters hums the victory fanfare, which I thought was quite amusing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty funny. They have some really good banter. The Brotherhood, like, that is really good. It's really interesting to see them grow.
See, at first I wasn't too sure about the whole, road trip storyline. With the four main characters. I mean, I'm not saying, social justice warrior. Oh, why is there no female cast? That's not what I mean. It just seemed like a very strange position for a Final Fantasy game, because you've got the more modern feel with the car and the cars and everything that's going on in the world itself, which it's a step away from what most Final Fantasies have, because usually you have your like Magitech, which is your technology, which is kind of steampunky in a sense, and then you just have straight up magic. So this fusion that they've got, where you've got the Magitech, you've got the straight up magic, but you've also got realistic technology, was quite strange in itself. So the whole idea of a road trip was a bit, I don't know, it took me back first when I first heard that that's what they were going to do. I think it really works, actually. It works surprisingly well.
Yeah, I agree. I at first wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy that, but yeah, it does work really well. And to begin with, I felt like I missed not having female characters and having their perspective as part of my party. But because the story is about this brotherhood, it works in the end. Also, that car, after a while, becomes just as steampunky and magical as anything else.
Well, yeah. Although I have to bring this out now. The character Cindy, yeah, that's just purely for prepubescent boys, really. That character is ridiculous.
She is ridiculous. Also, her accent is horrendous.
Oh, that southern drawl is just it grates after a while.
But it's so put on. It's so overdone.
Yeah. See, that's it. You've got Sid. You know, every game has a Sid, and he's always some sort of technical whiz. And this is exactly what he is in this one. He's the mechanic that knew Regis. So he's got a southern drawl as well, but it's a lot more subtle.
Yeah.
Whereas Cindy's is kind of right in your face, and that's not the only thing that's right in your face either. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, boobs. It just seems like a bit of a seems like a very tacky character.
Yeah.
If you don't, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the dialogue is great, but I don't understand the whole reasoning behind why they've designed her the way they designed her. So
yeah,
I was a bit disappointed that they did that, but
yeah, it's such a shame because she's dialogue wise, she's fine. It's just the accent and the aesthetics, the whole not wearing a top.
Never thought I'd hear you complain about a female aesthetics, Greg.
Yeah,